Good afternoon, friends. This is Khushali Joshi, and welcome to my channel Khushali Joshi. And this is the last approach of the topic method and approaches, which are this is our unit method and approaches in ELT, and we are learning 2.2. I have already posted 3 videos of this topic, and this is fourth and last approach. This is electic approach. What is electic approach? Electic approach is a method of language learning or teaching that combines various approaches and methodologies to teach language, depending on the aims of the lesson and ability of the learners. Means why IIT and I am not the greater level personality. Why IIT put at the last electic approach? Because electic approach is the mixture of all the method and all the approaches. When you visited our diary, trainer's diary, B.Ed trainer's diary, at the page number 38, they have pedagogy of English language 2, and we have second unit. 2.1 is our all method, grammar translation method, direct method, structural method. 2.2 is functional approaches. At the last functional approaches, we have electic method. Why? Because electic method can easily understood by the learner when the person have the idea about all the method and all the approaches. So how? Let's see why. What is electic approach? In this approach, teacher has more flexible and adaptability to choose best element according to the need and aim of the student. Means if my students are easy and familiar with grammar translation method and CLT approach, I can use both at the same time. Why? Because in this electic approach, my goal is just my students, how they can easily understand the stuff. Different techniques, methods are borrowed and adapted to suit the requirement of the learners. It breaks the monotony of the class. Means my classroom always in grammar. My class are always in direct method, in narration cum discussion method. We know all the method. This was the method we learn in our SEM 1. So my students will have a different kind of approach. They break monotony of the any kind of stereo. Here we have the picture we will use as example. The elective method is combination of all the teaching approach like audiovisual method, ELT method, grammar translation method, direct method. All the method will take place in one approach. In elective approach, the teacher can choose from these different methods and approaches, which are grammar translation method, direct method, structural situation approach, audiovisual method, bilingual method, and CLT, which is communicative language teaching. All the method can take place in one lesson. Means, for example, in our SEM 1, we have simulations at the end of the lesson. All IIT students know that. One simulation, one method. If I am going to take simulation on grammar translation method, on demonstration method, so an entire lesson I will use only grammar translation method, use only demonstration method. But if now onwards, if I am going to teach or I am going to take the lesson of electic approach, I can use entire language or entire method, entire approach in my one lesson. I hope you might understand the message or the concept of the language or concept of the approach. Which are the characteristics of this approach? It gives a chance to teacher to select different teaching techniques in each period to reach aims of the lesson. What is aims of the lesson? that my student will understand the concept properly. So I am free to choose any method, any approach, because I have numbers of methods. I have numbers of options. It breaks monotony, as we already discussed, in one hand, and ensure better understanding on other hand. It also break the monotony, we know that, and better understanding. My student will bet. Some students are bad in direct method, they cannot understand the stuff in direct method. Some students are great in narration method, but they are not able to get the concept in story method, storytelling method. In this method I will use all the method, so the student will understand the stuff in their own method, their own choice. They have choice in which method they want to study. Different kind of audiovisual and teaching aids leads the better understanding. Means I am not giving option to student in which method you want to prefer. From the 15 students, some will go for storytelling method, some will go for grammar translation method. No, my one lesson will have all this method, so student will understand the concept step by step. It saves a lot of time in presenting language activity. Language activities will take place in CLT, task based language teaching. But in this, I haven't any kind of doubt which language teaching activity I should prefer. Means I am able to take any kind of activity, any kind of method, any kind of approach, because my target is just to understand my students' problem and just to teach them how to handle the language. What are the advantages? Learners become attentive and respond. We can just take example that if the teacher will discuss about GST and the person who is very much better in economics, the person will take eagerly part in GST discussion, but the person don't want to part, don't interested in economics or any kind of a process, he or she will feel boring during the lecture. But in this activity I will keep in mind all the methods which my students like to teach, and I will use that methods only, so all become attentive. It offers multiple opportunities to students to develop their own skills. It enhances activities participation. Means I will give activity and my student will take part in it. With the help of this activity, they will improve their knowledge of language. It makes learning lively and enjoyable. As a student, if we are talking about ourselves, we will not have idea or we will not like to study a stereotype method. If the communicator, if the speaker will not ask anything, we absolutely feel boring while studying. And if the person would like to have two-way communication, we will enjoy the lecture a lot. So it is also happen with our students also. It breaks monotony. It prompts class control and students have interest in class, and it always class discussion. It allows class discussion. Means in CLT method we have class discussion. In TBLT method we have class discussion. So this method, it is a mixture of all the method. So it also have a class discussion. The students will eagerly participate and raise his or her hand with a great enthusiasm. Everything have its disadvantage and advantage also. It is time consuming method, which means one topic if I read it out, my lesson will complete, or my lesson will as completed, nearer to completed in my lecture only. As we know that many of the school have 35 minutes lecture only. If I am using TLM properly, use of TLM, use of all these approaches, I am not able to finish my syllabus in one semester, because right now in this current situation we teachers have 6 months, and sometimes it not happen 6 months. We have to complete our syllabus in 4.5 months only. How can we use this TLM process, these approaches and method in one unit? If we are using all these approaches and method in one unit, our one unit will take place for 15 days or more than that. We cannot, some teachers are thinking that wastage of time. It may not helpful to particular regional medium of language. Means, as I am talking about myself, I am the teacher of English language in Gujarati medium school. In basically Gujarati medium school, what they have tendency, if any person will speak in English, they will see the person with, they might be have alien, and they will not participate. Why they will not participate? Because they feel afraid of participation. So this is regional medium. I am not saying that it never can take place. Human can do anything which he or she want to do, but in starting level we have to face several problems. But after that, our student, we are also familiar with the problem and familiar with the stuff, we will easily can solve the disadvantage of any situation. It is not useful to slow learners. Those who are slow in communication, those who are slow in thinking, those who are slow in study, it is not useful for those students. If the teacher does not have command over all the methods and approaches, student confused and demotivated. Means, if I want to choose electric method, I should be good, or I should have idea about grammar translation method, direct method, means all the method which I want to choose for a lesson. If I want to choose a grammar translation method, not grammar translation method, only translation method, but I don't know how to translate any kind of word, any kind of specific phrase, so my student will be demotivated, means my student will not get the proper question, proper answer. So when the teacher want to adopt this method, the teacher should have knowledge about all the approaches and all the method. Teacher can do anything. There is no disadvantages for teacher's life. A teacher think to adopt electric method, he or she will easily find with all three disadvantages, and he will not show to his or her class that there is some problem, because we have lesson plannings. B.Ed students are very much lucky that we have lesson plannings. Before attempting a 35-minute class, I have to prepare myself for 1 hour lecture. Means my student will ask any question regarding that topic. So these are the end of all these approaches: CLT, CLL, TBLT, post method era, which is electric method. So if you have still not visited all other approaches, they have at my YouTube channel Khushali Joshi, and please give me your feedback. That's why I can improve my lessons. So best of luck all my dear students, and have a great day.